Spring Television. Ours it is.
Hello, here are the top stories of the news. Nasarawa State Police Command rescues 2 out of the 6 primary school pupils abducted on Friday. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bulletin, has vowed to provide better healthcare service if elected. On the foreign scene, police in U.S. state of California are responding to a shooting that left several people injured. Good afternoon and welcome to Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. My name is Evelyn Ohiole. And now the news in details. We'll begin with security. The Nasarawa State Police Command says 2 females have been rescued out of the 6 pupils of Leah Primary School abducted on Friday at Alwaza Village, Doma local government area. The command's police public relations officer, Rahman Nansel, confirmed the development in Newsman yesterday, noting that the pupils were rescued around 2:30 p.m. at Sabonkwara Village, Jankwal development area of Obi local government area of the state. It said the operation was achieved with sustained pressure mounted on the abductors by the combined search and rescue team that included sister security agencies in the state. It disclosed that the victims have been taken to hospital for medical examination and will be handed over to Doma local government area chairman to reunite them with their parents. Mr. Nansel added that efforts are ongoing to rescue the other 4 pupils unearthed and to arrest the perpetrators. The Ebonyi State Police Command has confirmed the killing of 2 yet-to-be-identified persons in Umpuma Akataka, a community in the Iza local government area of the state. Speaking to newsmen yesterday, the State Police Public Relations Officer, Chris Anyawu, confirmed the incident, stating that the incident occurred on Friday night. It was reported that the gunman on a motorbike stormed a meeting being held by some persons in the community said to be APC members and opened fire on the attendees, leading to the death of some persons. However, the police spokesman said the scene of the attack was not a gathering of members of the APC, but a meeting being attended by some persons in the community. He called members of the public to disregard stories making the rounds that those killed were members of the ruling APC in the area. Gunmen have reportedly kidnapped at least 6 persons, including a core member at Ikem community in the Isi Uzo local government area of Enugu State. The local government had come under attack recently following the recent invasion by suspected Fulani militia at Eha and Mufu. According to an eyewitness, for 3 days, the masked man laid siege to Inkem Isiorotol along Obolo Afo, Nkalagu Road and drove the villagers into the bush. It was gathered that the gunmen are yet to make contact with family members to demand for ransom. Meanwhile, the State Police Command has yet to comment on the attack. In Anambra State, following the trending story of armed robbery and the rape of 9 female students at the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, the school management has issued a disclaimer debunking the story as false. In a statement issued by the university acting head of Information and Public Relations Unit, Chika Ene, the school authorities said from preliminary investigations, the incident did not occur, even though the authorities admitted that there have been some robbery incidents in the Ifete axis where most off-campus students lodge are domiciled. It's noted that there is nothing that points to the incident happening. The university authority said it has met with officials of the state government and of Nigeria Police Force as part of efforts to provide maximum security in the university environment. Also reacting to the online publication, the Anambra State Police Command said it has no record of such incident and urged victims of such incident, if there is any, to come forward with information that will assist the police to embark on investigation. To political matters, the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Bola Tinubu, has promised to give the people of Jigawa State good lives if elected in the February 25, 2023 poll. He made the vow during his campaign in the state yesterday, stating that if voted for, the people are voting for progress, development, agricultural business, as well as constant electricity. He told supporters at the rally in the Northwest State that his administration will provide good healthcare services for citizens, as well as create employment opportunities. Mr. Tinubu, a former governor of Lagos State, was at the rally alongside the governors of Jigawa, Kano, Zamfara, Plateau, Borno, Yobe, and Kebbi states. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has described the All Progressives Congress as a party of deceit. Mr. Atiku made this known during the PDP presidential campaign rally in Minna yesterday, stating that President Muhammadu Buhari deceived the people of Niger State to get their votes for his second term. He stated that the president, a few weeks to the 2019 general elections, in a hurry commissioned the Barrow port, but since the commissioning, not a single activity has happened in the port. The presidential candidate promised to reconstruct the roads and restructure the health systems should he emerge as president in the forthcoming presidential election. Still on political matters, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has described the dissolution of the Ekiti State Executive Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, by the Iyorchia Ayu-led National Working Committee, NWC, as an act of tyranny that will be challenged in court. The governor, who dared the PDP national chairman, Mr. Ayu, to suspend him or any of the G5 governors, warned that the resort to despotism by the NWC will not do the party any good in the forthcoming general elections. The Rivers governor stated this yesterday at the campaign flag-off rally by the state PDP campaign council in Bori, Kana local government area. Wike explained that the reason why the dissolution of the Ekiti State Working Committee will be challenged in court is because there are still members of the PDP who believe in the rule of law and that the party should respect its constitution.
To say to Iyorchia Ayu and his team, they are dissolving the Ekiti State ESCO will not help you in any way. They are suspending people will not help you in any way. The battle line has been full drawn. And as I speak to you, we'll do everything legally possible to challenge any decision that we know is illegal. So don't think you can threaten people by saying so that they're suspended. Rubbish. Completely rubbish. So we are above that level that you think you can threaten anybody, intimidate anybody. Whatever illegal decision you have taken, because we believe in the rule of law, because we believe our party respects or should respect.
As Nigerians continue to prepare for the 2023 general election, it appears some political parties, aside the traditional ones like the All Progressives Congress APC and the People's Democratic Party PDP, are gaining traction in Osun State. One of these parties is the New Nigeria People's Party NNPP, which has a former Kano State Governor, Minister of Defense Rabiu Kwankwaso as its presidential candidate. This report examines to what extent the NNPP has been received by people in Osun State.
Not much was known about the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, before June 2022, when a former governor of Kano State and Minister of Defense, Rabiu Kwankwaso, became its presidential candidate ahead of the 2023 general election. Though the party was founded in year 2000 and became operational in year 2001, it has before now never really been visible nationally, despite winning some legislative seats in Kano State. But it appears the entry of Mr. Kwankwaso has given impetus to the NNPP, with growing belief in the ability to challenge the dominance of the two major political parties in the country, the All Progressives Congress APC and the People's Democratic Party PDP.
So if you have a party which is based on ethnicity and religion, that's the difference between Labour Party and of course, our party, which is a national party, New Nigeria People's Party.
As Mr. Kwankwaso continually promotes the NNPP as a national party, commanding the support of the masses, such is now being felt in some states across the country, including Osun State, where candidates of the party across levels are seeking the support of voters ahead of the elections. Ismail Oladeji is the NNPP chairman in Ede South local government of Osun State, and he feels the candidates running on the platform of the party are credible people with the focus on delivering good governance.
We have many things to offer as far as Nigeria is concerned. So we have all the dividends of democracy will come back to the grassroots, and everyone will feel among, will have the best under him.
How many members would you say your party has in this federal constituency?
You mean at the federal constituency? Well, I can't, this is a party that people are rejecting APC and PDP. Virtually on a daily basis, I'm welcoming new members to my party.
Pharmacist Musliuddin Adekilekun is a candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP of Ede North, Ede South, Egbedore, Ejigbo Federal Constituency in the 2023 general election. He believes through rigorous campaigns and trust people have in the party, the NNPP has become more rooted at the grassroots.
In these two elections, we are well rooted in all the four local governments mentioned above. We have a formidable team of people who've been going all around the world, the 42 wards that we have, and 463 units that we have in the federal constituency. And we are so confident that victory is ours. I will implore you to visit units or wards in the federal constituency and hear what people say about our aspiration. We stand for effective representation, and we will lace that with efficient feedback mechanisms, not forgetting total welfareism of the people.
According to pharmacist Adekilekun, the upcoming elections in February will be decided by competence and credibility, not on a party basis.
I'll start by saying this. Elections nowadays, people are wiser and people want to vote for integrity, irrespective of what political party you are vying from, irrespective of your status. But once people understand the fact that this one can speak for us, this one has the integrity, this one can represent us very well, they don't really care where you come from. Now, I'll come back to your question. There are, maybe they say 3, some people say 4, but there are 3 leading candidates in this election. Myself from NNPP, somebody from PDP who is running for a second term, and somebody also from APC. 2 of us are from Ede. We are not playing a nepotic politics whereby, well, because it is from Ede, he is from Ede, or she's from Ede, then she has to get the vote. What we are trying to do is, with our plans, which I mentioned above, effective representation, good feedback mechanisms, and total welfareisms. I think, plus or minus, we are going to get the votes, and that's what people need. People need somebody who can speak for them, who knows exactly what they need, and can actually get that one for them from the federal government. And that's what this policy is about.
Earlier, presidential candidate of the NNPP, Rabiu Kwankwaso, unveiled the party's presidential campaign council while also commencing zonal rallies. Mr. Kwankwaso says the party's campaign is towards a new Nigeria that will take off on May 29th, 2023.
The governor of Bayelsa State, Doya Diri, has called on youths to shun electoral violence and use their permanent voter cards, PVC, to elect credible leaders with the capacity to deliver on sustainable development, peace, and economic prosperity. The governor said this while addressing youths during a program tagged Prosperity Youth Day 2023 at the Ecumenical Center in Igbogene. He describes the PVC as a tool that confers political power on the electorate, and that what the youth need is the card, which he said is more powerful than an AK-47 rifle. He also urged the youths to shun drug abuse and all acts of violence before, during, and after the elections, stressing the need for them to key into the government's various policies and programs targeted at building their capacity. You're watching Spring News at 12 on Western Spring Television. We will be back right after this break.
Here are 5 amazing fun facts I bet you never knew about Christianity.
Number 1, there are over 2.4 billion Christians worldwide.
Amazing fun fact number 2. The Bible is one of the best-selling books of all time, with more than 100 million copies sold every year.
Most Christians believe in heaven and hell.
The Bible is the most translated book in the world, with more than 3,000 languages.
Amazing fun fact number 5. Most Christians throw science out of the window without realizing that most scientists are Christians. Hello, I am Pastor Steve Akinwumi.
And I am Dr. Adeoye Oyewole.
Join us as we highlight and discuss day-to-day issues pertaining to the day-to-day living of every Christian.
Issues in Christendom shows every Sunday on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Welcome back. Moving on, Cross River communities have continued to record more tragedies as 19 persons have died and 286 hospitalized following an outbreak of cholera in Obubra local government of the state. This is barely a month after about 14 persons lost their lives respectively at Abi and Odupani communities as a result of the outbreak. Speaking on the development, the Cross River State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Janet Ekpeyong, said that 286 cases were confirmed from rapid diagnosis testing, even as she advised the people to avoid self-medication. Mrs. Ekpeyong disclosed that out of the 89 communities in Obubra, 51 were affected, adding that the measures so far taken are capable of bringing the outbreak under control. She reveals that the state coordinator of the World Health Organization, Dr. Olatunde Yewande, the Director General of the State Primary Health Care Development Agency, Dr. Abasi Ofiong Amos, as well as other health officials from the ministry, have been dispatched to the affected communities. Elsewhere, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has uncovered a cluster of cannabis syndicates operating in the Okuje forests in Edo State. In a statement, the agency's Director, Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, said massive warehouses and tents storing over 317,417 kilograms of the substances were destroyed and set ablaze in a 2-day operation. It revealed that a police impersonator aged 37 posing as a police inspector to convey the drugs from the forests to the cities, and 3 others were arrested in connection with the drugs. Mr. Babafemi noted that this came barely hours after the Chairman Chief Executive Officer of the NDLEA, Mohammed Buba Marwa, vowed to make life tough for unrepentant drug barons and cartels this year. For news outside Nigeria, police in the U.S. state of California responded to a shooting that has left several people injured. The incident happened in Monterey Park, located about 8 miles east of Los Angeles this morning. Thousands of people had earlier gathered in the city for the Monterey Park Lunar New Year Festival. It is not clear yet how many people were shot or whether anyone has died. Videos and social media showed a large police presence in the area. The annual Lunar New Year Festival is a weekend-long event that has previously drawn crowds of more than 100,000 visitors. A U.S. airstrike assisting government troops in Somalia has killed about 30 Islamist al-Shabaab militants. The U.S. military says the operation happened near the town of Galkad, about 260 kilometers northeast of the capital, Mogadishu. Over the past few days, the Somali army and al-Shabaab militants have fought for control of the town. The U.S. Africa Command says Friday's airstrike came as the army was being attacked by more than 100 militants. Earlier, the Islamists killed 7 soldiers after storming a military base in Galkad. Somalia's information ministry said dozens of the militants were killed. And some armed forces colluded with protesters. He has dismissed dozens of military officers in recent days. The Supreme Court is investigating what happened and is including Jair Bolsonaro in the probe. Prosecutors said the far-right former leader may have incited the riot after posting a video that questioned the legitimacy of last year's presidential election. He has denied any involvement or responsibility for the uprising by his supporters. To some sports stories, top seed Iga Swiatek is out of the Australian Open after losing to Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina in the 4th round. Rybakina, seeded 22nd, had struggled to replicate the displays which saw a win at the All England Club in July. But against Swiatek, the Kazakh showed again how she thrives on the big stage, playing confidently and powerfully in a 6-4, 6-4 win at Melbourne Park. Less than half an hour later, Coco Gauff lost 7-5, 6-3 to Jelena Ostapenko. American 7th seed Gauff, who is 18 years old, was amongst the favorites for the title, but was overpowered by the 17th seed from Latvia.
Past 2 weeks have been pretty hard for me, so I felt today that I don't have that much to take from myself to fight even more, you know. So I really wanna, I don't know, just. I felt like I took a step back in terms of how I approach these tournaments, and I maybe wanted it a little bit too hard. So I'm gonna try to chill out a little bit more. That's all.
I think just because I worked really hard and I felt really good coming to the tournament, and I still feel good. Like I still feel like I've improved a lot. When you play a player like her and she plays really well, it's like, there's nothing you can do. And I feel like today, I wouldn't say nothing because every match you play a part in, but I feel like it was rough. So it's a little bit frustrating on that part.
To football, Everton manager Frank Lampard says he absolutely does not fear being sacked after his side were beaten by West Ham in the Premier League. The Toffees are without a win in the top flight since October and are stuck in a relegation battle in 19th place. Everton's poor form, consisting of 6 defeats and 2 draws, is Lampard's longest winless run as a manager in league competition. During Everton's poor run of league form over the past 3 months, the club has also been knocked out of both the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup at the 3rd round stage.
You're in a club where over recent years the club's moved downwards with serious investment. The environment now, the conditions now are that we don't have that investment, and we sold our number 9 and we're trying to rebuild. That doesn't mean that straight away you should start climbing the stairs straight away. It means that you're going to have to dig in as a club, and I'm prepared to dig in. So that's it.
Frank, you've done a lot, seen a lot in this game. How unfair is it on you and on David Moyes, the way this game was built, as like loser gets the sack? Do you ever get used to something like that?
Nah, because it comes with the territory. It's very easy. There's 2 sides for me. Firstly, I think we're very proud and lucky and to have our jobs. There's a lot of perks to our jobs. There's also a lot of sacrifice. And one of the sacrifices that people that are sort of, hidden behind a phone or any kind of outlet can say stuff because it gives them a good feeling. and people like that attention to it. So the less you can hear of that as a manager, or the less it affects you, the better, because it means nothing. It means nothing. I'm here to do a job, so I'm fine with that.
Before we end the news, here is a recap of our top stories. The Nasarawa State Police Command says 2 females have been rescued out of the 6 pupils of Leah Primary School abducted on Friday at Al-Waza Village, Doma local government area. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, has promised that his administration will provide good healthcare services as well as create employment opportunities. On the foreign scene, police in U.S. state of California are responding to a shooting that has left several people injured. Remember that you can follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Western Spring Television. You can also watch us live on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. That ends in Spring News at 12. I am Evelyn Ohiola. Many thanks for your time.